Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back with a video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. Well, hope everybody had a good Christmas, good Hanukkah. If you celebrated, I just got back in this morning from the red eye, so I'm a little out of it. But happy to be home. Thankfully had no serious delays or anything like that. It's been a real mess this holiday season for people flying. But yeah, like I said, happy to be home. And so let's talk about what we're going to use today. So I was thinking, I haven't used a vintage safety razor in quite some time on this channel. It seems like I kind of, would alternate back and forth between open blade, straight razors, and like modern safety razors. So let's use this Gillette new Deluxe today. I've used this a few times on the channel, so if you're a long-time viewer, you will perhaps recognize it. This one's interesting because the bottom comes totally out, and then that's how you get the top cap off. So it's really a three-piece razor, but not in the typical way where the base plate and top cap are separated. So for the blade, let's crack open another Personna Mid Prep. This is just the second one from that pack that Frank sent me. Thank you, Frank, if you're watching. That first blade lasted a long time. I don't know, 2 dozen shaves or something like that. So let's bust out a new one. You put the blade on top there. I'll try not to cut myself. And then you tighten down the bottom to get it to sit. And there we go, there it is. If the blade isn't set in there properly, it's not really going to turn down. And did I get it? I think so. Haven't used one like that in a while. Okay, blade alignment looks good. And now then, let's also talk about the soap and splash. We have Armonía from Chicago Grooming Company and House of Mammoth. This is the Darkwing soap base, if you'd like to pause and look at the ingredients. So this is the Chicago Grooming soap base with the fragrance from House of Mammoth. And this is what the soap looks like. Darkwing is quite soft when you first get it, and it's firmed up a little bit. But yeah, this is like a fougere with some strong tobacco notes. So fougere and some tobacco. It's a very pleasant scent, and one that I definitely wish I used more. For the brush today, I'm going to be using my beloved Decoration Grooming B3 Washington shape. I think if you still go to Scott's site and you order a knotting service, I believe he still has B3 hairs available. He always said that he would have those hairs forever, but I don't know, I never wanted to quite believe him, but it's been a couple years now and he still has it. So let's start and load the soap here. I'm working off 2 days growth as usual, and the Darkwing base is definitely a nice one. It has been easy to work with in my experience, and it's just unfortunately, but fortunately, one of the many good soap bases this day. I mentioned this before, but it's funny how in 2019 when I joined this hobby, the whole base wars thing was so prevalent, and everybody wanted to have the absolute best soap base, and we had people, assigning numerical scores to each soap base, and nowadays everything is just pretty good, so that's a good news for us, and we don't have to do that number stuff anymore. Pardon the, what's today? Wednesday? Probably the recycling truck in the alley. So let's get some warm water on the face. And we will get into this face lather. This is what the knot looks like. And here we go. Nice and scrubby knot here. And that's always especially nice when you're dealing with a couple days growth, so you can really dig in if you will. Boy, that truck is really loud. It's funny, I was just remarking to myself as I walked home from running some errands this morning. I thought, wow, Chicago's really quiet this time of year. It almost feels like I'm still out up in the hills of Northern California. And then I think as soon as I said that to myself, we're back to our old noisy city alleyways. So maybe I jinxed myself a little bit there. Let's add a little bit of water here. And we'll go right back in. Like I said, Darkwing, very easy to work with. It's got a few different animal products in it. And I think it's definitely a step up from the former canard duck fat base from Chicago Grooming, formerly known as Leo. So let's just do one more water addition here, trying to redistribute the lather. There we go. Been using a synthetic all week, so it's nice to a little bit more life, a little bit more soul, if you will, from this dense badger knot. Okay, let's rinse off the handle and the soap. So what did everybody end up doing for the holidays? Feel free to let me know. And even if you didn't do much, I think that's definitely a valid answer. That has kind of been my family tradition for a long time, is that there is no tradition. We've done many different things. We weren't, you know, super traditional by any means, but it was nice this year as we start the first pass with the new Deluxe with the Personna bed prep. It was nice this year to be with my girlfriend's family. They certainly have some well-seasoned traditions. I remember, I might include a couple photos. Her family is Swedish, and so their version of a big Christmas gathering is what they call smorgasbord, which many of us here in the States, I think it's mostly in the States, we'll use that word kind of just to mean any large spread of food. And we had pickled herring, what do they call it? It's like their version of cranberry. Oh, lingen, right? Like a lingonberry pancake. We had that. Some smoked salmon. Potato sausage. That was probably my favorite. I don't think I'd had anything like that before, but definitely enjoyed that. Potato sausage. And then just all kinds of cheese. Nothing particularly particularly Swedish in terms of the cheese, but just a lot of cheese. More cheese than I'm used to seeing. Okay, good first pass. I'll rinse and come back in for the second in just a moment. Stay tuned. Second pass with Armonía. Okay, here's second pass across the grain mostly with the new Deluxe. I don't think I mentioned this razor does tend on the more aggressive side. But it is the preferred new model for many people in my sort of circles. You don't have to be too spot on with the angle that you're shaving, but it's more about keeping a light touch in my experience. It's like I was saying, it was nice to experience a little bit of a Swedish-American tradition. Certainly not one that I'm familiar with, but as luck would have it, the neighborhood that I lived in here in Chicago was originally founded by Swedish people, and so we have a couple Swedish restaurants in the area. Even a Swedish, it's called the Swedish Heritage Museum, which I hear is quite nice. So maybe that can be something we go check out in the winter. And you most certainly don't want to be outside more than you have to. And I don't think my girlfriend would oppose given her heritage. Okay, good. Second pass, we'll rinse and come back for the final third one. Stay tuned. Last pass with Armonía. Third and final pass. Here we go. So, like I said, we were in the Northern California, the Bay Area to be specific, and her family is, both sides of her family are originally from there. Some people have moved away, but a lot of them are still there. So it was interesting to hear the perspective of people who have lived there for, 60 years and seen things change. Some things definitely have changed for the better, and other things are maybe neutral or worse, but it's important to keep in mind when you visit cities that, especially if you're doing a lot of kind of touristy stuff and maybe not venturing that far out from the city center, that you're having kind of a biased view of the city. And unless you're well off and you're gonna live like right downtown somewhere, that's not really what your day-to-day is going to look like. So as much as I would love to live in Northern California someday, also have to keep my perspective in check, because of course it's going to be very nice when I visit, and it's the holidays and I'm not working. you know, a lot of places would seem nice under those circumstances. Before I forget, I'll be traveling again next week, and we'll do my best to gather some quality footage, photos maybe, to share with you all once I'm back, but I think it's going to be a little bit too busy to really record a video while I'm gone. So, wanted to mention that. And I can't believe we are already nearly at New Year. Crazy. Okay, good 3-pass shave. Feel maybe a little bit tender from this razor, but certainly a close shave, so it gives you that. Okay, gonna do my final rinse and come back and talk to you over post-shave in just a sec. For post-shave today, let's use the matching Armonía, which is in the Mammoth Magic Splash formula. I guess I could show you those. Yeah, it's gonna be a little too small, but it's alcohol-based. It's got some synthetic coolant, witch hazel, that kind of stuff. Let's not use too much. Nice scent, very, very rich, and perhaps as you can tell, the splash dries quickly. So that's one of the benefits of using a alcohol one, and I can feel the cooling coming out a little bit. So that's the Armonía Splash. We also used the soap. Love that logo with the mammoth and the duck. That's very sweet. And we used the Declaration Grooming B3 Washington brush, and this is what it looks like once it's been rinsed out and towels dropped a little bit. That's the brush. And then finally the Gillette new Deluxe. This particular one was made in Canada, and it is interestingly chromium plated brass, so that's why it's kind of flaking off there in the middle. That's what chromium tends to do over time. Right, thank you all so much, especially if you made it this far in the video. Let me know how your holiday celebration went, or if you didn't do anything, or you don't have a tradition. I'm also happy to hear about that. So take care, everybody. I'll see you in the new year in a couple weeks, I hope. So this has been HG Shaves. See you again next time. Bye.